Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Headkrack After Hours. And the Morning Hustle is a man who has done it once and he done it again and again and again and again. Yo, Lecrae, if I could name all of the different accolades that could be attached to your name, I'd have to buy more minutes because, dude, you do a lot. And the new project, Church Clothes 4, is out right now. And I don't understand how you keep managing to somehow top yourself.
Thank you, my brother. Hey, that means a lot coming from you.
And can I keep it a buck in the truck real quick?
Come on, keep it there.
Yo, Lecrae, I was in a crappy mood this morning, man. And I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on what it was. But, listening to the album again this morning, like, just to prepare to just get my mood and intentions right. It serves as so many things, bro. Not only is it good music, it's like self-help music. It's introspective, and it's one of those things when you're done listening to it, you walk away feeling better than you probably did before you hit play.
Wow, that's massive. Hey, I accomplished my mission.
Hey,
I accomplished my mission because that's really a lot of what I was trying to do with the project too. So you summed it up, man. That's what I wanted to do,
my man. So how do you manage to continue to thrive in a world that just focuses so much on low vibrational musical energy? And and then you coming through with just something completely different that it don't sound fake, it don't sound pretentious, it sounds real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you keep yourself together to even deliver this type of material?
So first of all, I think every song has to be written. Every song doesn't have to be heard. So I think a lot of people wait till the last minute and then they make their music and then they put it out versus like allowing life and maturity to grow you in some ways and then you express. So I made like 70 songs, but these are the ones that I actually decided to put out because when you're going through hell, when you're going through, low vibrational circumstances, write some songs, but that may not be what the people need to hear. So I always stay writing and stay listening and just try to stay connected to the culture. But then at the same time, I'm taking care of myself, my life, my mental health, emotional health. And you'll hear the reflection of where I was at, but you won't hear like the expression of when I was in the midst of it. Those songs are there, but I didn't put them out because I wasn't, in the healthiest mindset.
That makes sense, because as artists, a lot of times, we have the tendency to use the music as therapy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just to get whatever it is off your chest.
Yep.
And sometimes it'll be jamming, but you'll be like, yo, I can't let people hear this.
No, it's real.
How much of an arsenal of just really amazing music that it probably wouldn't be in your best interest to let people hear do you have?
Oh, it's a lot, man. It's literally a lot. It's some stuff where it's like I got a chip on my shoulder. I'm like, I gotta get these bars off, and then it's like, you like, yeah, that may not have been the best way to handle what I was wrestling with at the time. And so, you just kind of rewind it, you regroup, you got to keep people around you. That's what a lot of people don't do. They don't have real friends around them who can be honest, and let them know like this song is trash. Or let them know like, yo, I feel what you're saying, but maybe everybody don't need to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And so, you ain't gonna do it perfectly, but as long as you're on a pathway to grow, everybody's gonna get older, but not everybody's gonna mature. That's the thing. You know what I mean? So I just try to stay maturing on a regular basis.
Yo, you definitely do that with the music and the subject matter. And, I hate boxes. I hate putting artists in boxes. And I know a lot of times because of the label that you co-own, the company that you keep, people want to put you in this category. But ladies and gentlemen, anybody's watching this right now, Lecrae is an MC.
Come on, talk.
Okay, let's start with that.
Yeah.
Not only is he an MC, he's probably one of the better live performers that you will see in the recording and rap space. And you got something to say. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you've spread your wings a little bit. Is that you singing on Journey?
Nah, that ain't me. But I was that dope. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? No, we got some incredibly talented folks who like to remain in the background. And I was like, all right, bet. Do you do your thing if that's how you want to run it? So, you know what I mean? Yeah, that ain't me, but I wish it was.
That was crazy because like I was looking, I was trying to see whose voice that was, and it's not listed on the on the track listed
Yeah.
on Spotify. I'm like, yo, Lecrae took the lessons.
Nah, I did take the lesson, but I ain't that good. I ain't that good.
Okay,
You know
all
what
right.
I'm saying? You that's it. You was on track about the rapping, but yeah, nah, man. You know, I also appreciate the fact that the MCing, because I take that near and dear to the heart. You know, I was raised. A lot of folks don't realize I'm not a Christian dude trying to rap. I'm a rapper who had a spiritual transformation. You know what I'm saying? So I was raised on hip hop. My uncles, they grew up in the '80s. They schooled me. They took me all the way back. So it was like class was in session, listening to records, listening to everything, East Coast, West Coast, Souls of Mischief, Eric B. and Rakim. Like, they like, nah, you're going to get this work. So I am a part of the culture of hip hop. I have a deep appreciation for the culture of hip hop. And, the live performance, my first live show I ever saw was Busta Rhymes. So the bar was set high.
Very high.
From the top. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, if there was ever a kid that brown sugar grew up on hip hop, I am that kid. I was raised by it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just in my bloodstream, and it's always gonna come out. I'm always gonna care about the craft and the art.
Now, as many times as we talk, Lecrae, I don't think we ever really super went that deep into the origin story. So yeah, Busta Rhymes is an amazing place to start as you're looking at live shows. For me, it was Run DMC. Whether I'm watching them recorded or seeing them anytime they was within a 100-mile radius of the Texas area I was living in or the New York area I was living in when I was old enough to start going to shows.
Yeah.
What was the first hip hop album that you listened to, or artist that really hooked you in, that blew your mind and made you be like, whoa, this is kind of where I want to go with my life?
I'm gonna tell you how it happened. My mom, she was working at a halfway house, right? So she was working at a halfway house, and she would take me to work, single mom. So I'm sitting in the halfway house, with a lot of these ex inmates, what I'm saying, convicted gentlemen. And we sitting around, my mom is doing her job at her desk or whatever. I'm sitting there talking to them. Some of them young, they like 19, 20 years old. And one of them slides me a tape. And he was like, yo, this is a mixtape, my man. Like, and I was a kid. I was little. I hadn't really heard of rap. I was probably like, I don't know, second grade.
Okay.
He slides me this mixtape. And I go home and I listen to it. And it had a bunch of people on there. I mean, everybody from I mean, you had Beastie Boys, everybody was on there. But I heard LL Cool J on this mixtape, and his tenacity, his energy, his passion. I was like, yo, what is this? And then I fell in love. It had me. And then I was the cool kid because I knew the whole rap when I got back to school. And it was like, yeah, how did you know that? And you gotta remember, I'm on the West Coast, and this is at the time hip hop. It's like you gotta get a mixtape. You can't get, you know what I mean? So
we're so spoiled now because it's on demand. They don't know about having to wait to Tuesday for new music to drop and go to Tower Records or Sam Goody or Sound Warehouse to go get some music, man. You had to make an appointment with hip hop, man.
Exactly. So for me to have something and already have it memorized, and it's not like I brought the tape to school and let everybody listen to it. I'm kicking a rap and they like, whoa, what is this?
If I may ask, brother, what was that rap?
Oh, it was I'm Bad.
Oh, okay,
no rapper can rap quite like I can. Take a muscle bad man, put his face in the set. Like, it was like,
LL was a gateway for so many people coming into the culture. It is just crazy where LL is right now. Not only running the Rock the Bell situation and doing phenomenal things with that platform. He get ready to launch a cruise, but there's also a weird pocket of people who know him as the man from NCIS LA. And know nothing about the rap history, box, you know what I'm saying, Crush Groove and all that other stuff. The Mo D LL battle is just wild. So you also spoke about your spiritual transformation, which it sounds like happened for you very young. What was that tipping point for you that made you, I guess, have a closer connection with God so early in life?
Yeah. So understand, like, my grandmother, around when she was around 40, she began to start journeying with God. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't really, I mean, her mother probably raised her in the church, so to speak, but she had a hard life. So around 40, she had her transition. So then she's trying to figure it out. If people first find God, they be a little dogmatic, a little extra, you know what I'm saying? The prayer for the meals a little long.
A little bit.
You know what I'm saying? So she kind of rubbed people the wrong way, and my mom really wasn't rocking with it, because it was like dogmatic. It was like, man, church 5 days a week type stuff. So my mom kind of rebelled against that and was like, yo, we're gonna be a little more liberal, hippie vibes and free thinking. So that's how I was raised. So I really wasn't interested in like the Bible or anything, because I was like, that's that closed-minded type of stuff. And then I was like, yo, let me check out Rastafarianism. If I must believe in a God, which God lets me, blow my trees? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I was leaning. But you know what happened? Like, I went through some serious situations in high school, and just trying to find my way, getting in a lot of trouble, getting arrested. My friend Elijah, took his life. So it was a lot going on for me. And I was like, all right, God, where you at? And it just so happened, man, that a group of, Christians on a college campus, I went to the University of North Texas, outside of Dallas, and a group of them ran up on me and was just really cool. Like, I thought they had to be like grandma.
Right.
But they was really cool, and they invited me to this conference in Atlanta. I came down to Atlanta. I seen some rappers. There's a group called Cross Movement from Philly, and they looked like the Roots or Wu-Tang. And I was like, my brain was like, what is this? Yeah. So it was like I could see myself in them, and I was able to hear their words, and hearing them talk about God, it was more relatable. And I think, man, that's when the light bulb went off. And I've been trying to be that type of person ever since. Like what they did for me, I want to be for other people, and just kind of be a tangible, relatable, experience for folks.
Yo, and you do it at a high level, man. And that's an amazing story, because even when you talk about Cross Movement, I have not heard that name in years. But that was one of the early groups that I heard that weren't like DC Talk.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you think about the origins of what people would consider like, Christian rap or gospel rap,
yeah,
it all of it wasn't hip, in the very beginning, but it leveled up really fast. And then,
right.
And you started to hear like, more like phenomenal names. And, going to the album real quick, I mean, you waste no time getting to it and saying some very thought-provoking things. And there was a line that you had in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, people are so confused. They pray to the universe.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
how people view the church. Yeah, I am one of those people who sometimes I overgeneralize God and his existence. So a lot of times, like, hey, man, a lot of times, the universe will give you what you need. But I am referring to God when I say that, just to make it more universal for others.
Other people, okay.
But there are some people who don't believe at all, and maybe only refer to it as the universe.
Right.
So I don't know what was the backstory behind those bars, because like, I mean, that one really touched me, because I could relate to it.
Yeah.
Because like, because like people will give everything the credit but God sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I got a lot of friends, a lot of people, circles I run in, and the universe gets a lot of credit all the time. But what I found is interesting is like, people get mad at God, or they'll blame God, right? Like, yo, man, why would God do that? Or if God was real, why would he blah, blah, blah? Babies and God get a lot of flack, but nobody ever get mad at the universe. Nobody's ever like, yo, the universe tripping. The universe get all the credit for the good things that's going on. And I'm like, yo, where do you think the universe came from? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just came out of nowhere. You think, and a real issue that I think I started having was just talking to a homie and was just like, yo, man, if you think we're just a cosmic accident, then we have no purpose. We're just atoms and cells. And so you're living like you have purpose. You want purpose. You want to live life like it matters. But if you're just the random occurrence of the universe having an explosion, then you don't have a purpose and nothing really matters. So let's go back. There has to be intention, and intention comes from a person, a being. And if you feel like your life has meaning, purpose, and value, then there was some intention behind that. So let's tap into, beings are intentional. Random particles are not intentional. So, man, I just want to give credit where credit is due to the incredible mind that is God. You know what I mean?
Yo, fair enough. And then, moving into the lead single, which I heard for the first time when you did Sway about a week and some change ago.
Yeah.
And when I heard Spread the Ops, because like at first I was like, I think that's because like it didn't have the title on the joint. So I had to Shazam that thing. I was like, oh, my man is in his bag, heavy with the youth. Like I don't know how many people made up the youth choir that did the hook, but I mean the musicality of it all, the lingo, the language, the energy. How did you know that was the one to kick off this project, man? Because I see you sitting over here at almost 3 million streams right now on Spotify. Yeah. So a lot of people feel that same way about that record as I do. Like this is one of them ones.
Yeah, it's funny. We was in the studio and we had a bunch of songs, and I was like, man, I need that fire, just like, and we couldn't find the records we was looking for, and it's always be somebody that's connected to somebody that's connected to somebody. And my man Ace was like, yo, Lil Wayne's DJ is about to come through to play you some beats. Okay. And so I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got to have a side hustle. And he came through with a crew, Drum God, and they played that song, man, just the drums. It was just the drums. And I said, oh, load that up. That's something right there. And there was a little kind of like a sample in it. And I was like, yo, the sample is making me feel like we should have some kids in the choir. And my girl Alex was like, I know some kids. So she brought the kids through. I taught them like the words, and they got in there, they got busy. And it was just like, I got to go off. And that's part of still, you cannot just disappear from or just live in the era of hip hop that you grew up with. You got to continue knowing what's going on. So I was like, what's the current cadences, rhyme patterns? And that's how the song came about, bro.
I feel like you could write a book on that particular practice because every lap you're on time. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never listened to a Lecrae project and felt like you were playing catch up. Right. If anything, always a little bit ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me study what everybody's doing. All right, cool. I'm gonna master that. Yeah. I'm gonna get my PhD in that flow, and here I am.
Man, you got to be a student of the culture, man. You know what I'm saying? And people, I mean, I get it. There was classic eras and time periods, and some people have unmatched flow schemes. But even like we talking about Busta, like Chris Brown said it. He said him and Wayne he asked Busta to be on that Look at Me Now record, and they said this ain't it. Can you go back and give us something else? Can you imagine telling Busta Rhymes of all people this ain't it? You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. So the verse that we got from Busta was the result of them saying do it again?
Exactly.
Maybe that's what needed to happen then.
I mean, I'm saying
because that is one of the most scenario held Busta down for about 5 to 7 years. Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See gave him an additional lifeline. Maybe then we could talk past the Cavassier or something. But that Look at Me Now verse?
What?
10 years? He run it on good credit for 10 years plus with that verse.
Get it. That's what I'm saying. So, even the greats gotta take a minute and say, all right, what's going on right now? What I gotta do? And that's where I take my cues from, man. Is just trying to level up every time and until I can't anymore. You know what I mean? Until it's like, You know what I mean? LeBron got to change up the shot. He got to learn the Euro step, and, you know, until his limbs say, nah, I'm out.
Got you. Well, two-part question based off that, pocket of information. One, who is the new people that's really like moving the needle for you that make you go like, whoa, kids coming with
Mm.
it? And then also too, who are the people in your circle that be like, all right, Lecrae, go do that again? Or
Yeah. Of course, I'm always going to be a fan of lyricism, even though it's kind of like a dated thing for some people. Like, I still care about lyricism. So I like a Joyner Lucas, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because I feel like he can blend lyricism with, you know, some cadence flows. But then I like, you know, some cats get melodic with it, like Lil Durk or somebody like that, you know, who's really melodic and, you know, put some time, effort, and energy into it. And so I can learn a lot from, you know, just what he's doing. But then there's some kind of like off the beaten path rappers that people, you got to know. So like Saba, you know, out of Chicago, you know what I'm saying? There's some people like that where you like, you know, you doing something, or Coast Contra, that some young cats who just came up, you know what I mean? Like, you just gotta like stay abreast of it all and just learn. Yeah.
Yeah, the wild thing about Coast, you know who two of those kids in Coast Contra are the sons of?
I just heard when I was at Sway, they said that's Ras kid, Ras cat.
I mean, mind blown, but also not surprised. And then
Not
also too,
surprised.
I mean, not to give Raz all the credit, I believe those are the kids that he has with Tidra Moses, who's also a phenomenal singer. So it's just so dope how the apple don't fall off the tree too far. You know what I mean? Like, Lecrae, you got any kids? Because if so, they're gonna probably be rapping at a high level.
Genetics is crazy. So I got my 10-year-old was like, I want to do a rap at school, Dad. And I'm like, you can rap? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, what do you mean you want to do rap at school? So now I'm a little like nervous because I'm like, yo, don't be getting up here embarrassing me, champ.
You know, don't want to mess up your dad's good credit, in these rap streets.
Nah, he read this poem that I forgot the author, but it was a poem like about Dizzy Gillespie, and he just was breaking it down and understanding like the pattern and the meaning, and then he wrote a rap for him and his buddy. They rapped it at school, and I was really like, wow, this kid has talent. You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, he's got a different lifestyle than I have. So we'll see. You know, I don't know what the suburban rap life is about. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what's going on.
Do you ever purposely try to put your kids through any level of struggle just so they can know a little bit of what dad went through? And what does that even look like if you do?
Oh yeah, all the time, man. You know, some of it is like we go to the barbershop in the hood. I'm like, yo, run in there and go, you know, ask for something, you know, just so y'all are comfortable around your people.
Okay.
But then even outside of that, it's just you know, I can't help the way I was raised. So I'm still like, yo, nah, like, you know, you ain't gonna, don't drink all the milk. You just need a little bit. Drink the milk out the bowl for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm on that wave a little bit. So they like, what is this about, Dad? Just buy some more milk. I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's always a battle in my crib because like there's always a lot of excess. My wife will buy like mad things of Play-Doh, and it's like, yo, you know how many jars of Play-Doh I had grow? I had one. It was all one color, and I had to do everything with this one jar of Play-Doh. And if that Play-Doh ever got hard, guess what? I didn't have no more Play-Doh. And now they have material to make their own Play-Doh. It's just like, man, the new generation is reaping so much of the benefits of the work that our generation put in.
I'm telling you, man, they can just push a button and it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, I like this jacket. Amazon at the house, done.
Yep, before the sun goes down.
You know what I mean? We had to wait. We a layaway. You don't know about all the things we had to deal with, man.
The struggle was real, man. So real quick, touching on some of the other things, man. You have released a book, in the last few years, man. Is there another one coming down the pipeline as well?
We'll see, man. I mean, I got a lot to say, but I got to have a build up before I really get it all out there. You know what I mean? So I feel like there's some stuff I want to talk about, but I speak to such a wide audience. I don't know, exactly what fits every compartment of, that will connect with everybody that I speak to. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Yeah, finding the proper audience and the right time to deliver the message that makes sense. Also, you did win a Grammy Award at one point in time for Best Gospel Album, and it seems like now more so than ever, you have visitors in the
Mm-hmm.
gospel category,
Yeah.
which come through and dominate that
Yeah.
category and then go about their business. You know, notably, you know, like Kanye, like I think got nominated for Donda 1.
Yeah.
I don't think Donda 2 was eligible, but you know, he pretty much was doing a clean sweep during those times where he was nominated for those awards. How do people within that aspect of the business feel about that? And then also, too, how do you feel about not necessarily being categorized
Mm.
with your other rap peers? Because
Yeah.
you belong there.
Right.
It is rap.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
I think you just, you know, wisdom and maturity helps you understand, like, these are categories and circumstances that were created by people who oftentimes are outside of the culture, you know, outside of the faith culture, outside of hip hop culture. And so, you know, hip hop is fairly young. It's about to be 50 years old. So it had to fight for its place in its space. You know, people wasn't checking for it. And I think I got some of that scrappiness in me as well. It's kind of like, all right, look, I just assume I'm gonna be the underdog. I just assume I'm gonna be the outcast, and it just makes me work that much harder. I don't know what y'all gonna call me. I don't know what category y'all gonna put me in. I don't know, you know, who's on my fight card. I just know I gotta be ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's really my mentality. Am I gonna be the gospel rapper? Am I gonna? But end of the day, I just went to see a Mos Def and Talib Kweli show in New York, and 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 something hit me. I realized, like, they ain't done an album in I don't know how long, like maybe 20 years or something like that.
I think the first one came out like in 98.
See, so but even in the midst of that, you can't take away. It's like they may not have the awards and all of that, but there's a substance and meaning they have in the culture that you can't take away.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really after. You know what I'm saying? So whatever awards, whatever categories, it don't matter. But when they got off stage and Talib recognizes me and I'm talking to him and I'm talking to, you know, Large Professor, or it's like I have substance in this space, regardless of any accolades I have, where people are like, yeah, no, my man, he a Christian, but he rap. And it's just, that's what you want, longevity and substance in the culture, man.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, and also too, like, you know, the people who come to you and say, hey, your music did this for me. I think you can't put a price tag on that.
Right.
There's no award that can, like, you help the most people award. It's
Right.
those one-on-one conversations. And because, like, what I said at the beginning of this interview was very true, man. Like, when I tell you, listening to Church Clothes 4 lifted my spirits up in a way that I didn't even know was what I needed.
Yeah.
And that, my friend, is truly what music is supposed to do. It's the reason why we listen to Thriller. It's the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we'll throw on like New Edition and like, you know, get, or like, you know, throw in a certain playlist to go to the gym to throw them weights up. It's to, you know, lift your spirits and give you the fuel to burn, man. And you've been doing it at such a high level, man. And if you don't get your flowers enough, man, I just hope that you can watch this interview again and just know how much you mean to people like me and the people that you'll never have the opportunity to maybe meet in person who feel that your music helped them in some way, size, shape, or form, because it is therapy.
Wow. That's big, man. I really appreciate that, bro.
No, for real. Like, even like, you know, like songs like Deconstruction, you know, and I had to, like, you know, lock in on the PJ Morton joint that we did it. I mean, how can you listen to that song with your arms folded? It's high vibrational music, man. So like, yo, keep operating the space you operate in and changing lives and changing the world. For those who are watching this and didn't know, man, you did an amazing initiative during the pandemic to help, you know, provide, you know, it was water, right?
Water.
Yeah. For those who needed it, man. Any updates on how, you know, like where everybody's at with that? Like, did everybody get what they need, or
everybody got what they needed? And not only that, shout out to my man Terrence Lester, who runs Love Beyond Walls, which is the organization I partner with. He has since, man, like turned that into just a whole global initiative. And now, like, they provide showers, like, you know, just, man, it's like, it's mind blowing, like what can happen when people really support something and get behind it. So, man, yeah, man, it's always gonna be something, and I always want to tap in and be a light. It can get dark out here, man. So you need those lights in dark places.
Indeed, indeed. Well, two more things before we slide. Because you have such an extensive peer group of people outside the normal fray of music that really rock with what you do you ever get scrutinized from people within the non-secular music community for working with certain people? Like, oh, why are you doing that with a person? Why you got this song with this guy?
Yeah, yeah. The best way I can articulate it is like you always gonna have your extremists in any group, right? So you know just using hip hop as an example, like you're gonna have your extremists who are like, nah, if it don't sound like this, it ain't hip hop. And you just those like polar views. And I think within the faith-based community, there's those extremists who like they're just known for what they're against, not what they're for, but what they're against. And so they're very loud and why'd you do a song with Ty Dolla $ign and he's not real and you're not a real Christian and and it's like, man, I got my own walk to walk, my own journey to go through in the space that I live in. And so I can't live for those people's opinions. If you live for their acceptance, you die from their rejection. So yeah, there's a contingency of folks who are loud. But at the end of the day, I know why I'm here. And when I hear, voices like yours saying what you say, it just affirms like I need to be where I'm at. Like it's cool. You go where you at. And that's maybe the space you need to be in. I need to be where I'm at.
Voila. Well, yo, say less, man. The project is out right now. It's called Church Clothes 4. No matter what headspace you're in, this is going to improve that. The bars at an all-time high. The production value is there. The guests add value to it. You know what I mean? Which is, you ain't just over here calling in favors. You over there like, yo, how can we make the best jam possible? Lecrae, you've done it again, my friend. If people want to follow you, that is accurate, right? That's top.
Accurate, man. Accurate. That's it.
Well, there it is, man. We'll keep rocking in the free world and being amazing. And God bless, my brother.
God bless, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Peace.